whilst I'm quite a placid person, there is a need, I think, for people to be able to vent. I'm going to make reference to a book at the end of this called The Chimp Paradox, and one of the phrases used in there is sort of exercising the chimp. What it means effectively is I'm a real believer that repressed feelings never go away. They just manifest themselves in different ways. So it's really, really important that you're actually able to express your emotions, be that sort of anger or sadness. The key thing really is in accepting that it's okay to do that, but also being very aware of the people that are around you so that you don't upset them in such a manner that it creates more fallout. So in a lot of respects, absolutely no problem with venting your anger and your frustration or your sadness by having a good old cry or whatever it is, but try to do it away from the people that you're surrounded by, because they could interpret it in the wrong way, which can then actually aggravate the situation. So I would say, as a coping strategy, number one, absolutely feel free to vent. A lot of people find talking is a good therapy in itself, and I must agree that to a certain extent it is very, very helpful. The key thing really is to try to differentiate between getting something out of your head and verbalizing it and getting it out there, and then drawing a line under it and moving on, and not becoming obsessional about it. I know a couple of people that I've spoken to are literally watching the news morning, noon and night, and almost becoming very fearful of actually how life's going to continue after this. So please don't go to the extreme of becoming obsessional by constantly talking about the negative aspects of what's going on at the moment. By all means, if you're feeling scared or if you're feeling frustrated, get it out there, but then draw a line under it and move on and try to turn your attention to some of the more positive things that are going on. And there will, I know it seems difficult at the moment, especially for the frontline workers, but there will be some upsides to this once we get out the other side. So if you feel talking about it is helpful, then obviously feel free to do so. And if you're not fortunate enough to have anybody to talk to, you know how to get hold of me, guys. I'm always happy to listen. On a more spiritual note, meditation is always very, very helpful, but it doesn't necessarily have to be sat there cross-legged making funny noises and all the rest of it. At its base level, meditation is a focus of attention, and the focus of attention in this instance can be on your awareness of thought. Just sitting down and trying to keep your focus of attention on one particular thing, and that could be anything from as daft as a piece of paper to a pen, you'll begin to notice how often your thoughts go off and run away with themselves. Simply bringing yourself back to focus on that chosen object of attention, be it a pen, piece of paper or whatever, will give you an insight into just how little control we generally have over our thought processes. So certainly meditation or an awareness of thought is a really good tool to sort of try and play with at the moment. And the key one for me, which is what I alluded to a couple of minutes ago, is use it as an opportunity to educate yourselves. This little book here, I don't know if you can read it in terms of whether it's gone up backwards or not, because it looks a bit weird on the screen from where I am, but it's called The Chimp Paradox. It's written by a guy called Professor Steve Peters. Now, it's available obviously in book format, but you can get it on audio via sort of something like Audible or whatever. Now, this guy does a fantastic job in taking some really complex psychology and simplifying it for us. And I think, in a nutshell, if there's nothing else that you do over the next couple of weeks, guys, you've got to get hold of either a written copy of this or an audio version of it, and use your time to gain a greater understanding of what's going on between our ears, because in doing so, it will not only improve your ability to cope with the current situation, but I promise you this, it will turn your life upside down and inside out, but in a good way. Okay, it will really give you a fascinating understanding into what goes on inside the brain and why we do what we do and why we have the challenges that we have. And of course, in doing that, we're then better placed to do something about it. So I'm going to leave it there for today. If there are any particular aspects of what we've just spoken about that do interest you, feel free to give me a shout. Apologies, this one does ramble on a little bit. I think we're up to about 11 minutes now, so I'm going to cut it there. But if you need to get hold of me, do the usual. Message me on the club app, drop us something on Facebook, or send us an email. Look after yourselves, guys, and I'll catch up with you again soon. Bye.